Hi there, welcome back to Riella's Army of Dolls, where I talk all things fashion doll. And if you're not yet a subscriber of my channel, please make sure to hit that now so you don't miss any of my upcoming doll content. And today I've just received two of these really fun parcels. They've come all the way from Switzerland. The doll maker Nav Sikand makes the really fun boutique fashion doll Anouk, and I'm really looking forward to opening them up. Now, Anouk is one of the few dolls who is genuinely made in Europe. Although Anouk is a modern doll in the sense that she's being produced now, I would say that she is in many ways a vintage doll because she represents all of the things that so many people, especially Nav Sikand himself, love about vintage fashion dolls. And that's why I've put up behind me today a lot of my favourite vintage dolls from my collection, including a couple of reproduction dolls, one of them being an earlier Anouk and a Cindy as well, who are from more recent presentations of these dolls. Anouk is also referred to as La Poupée Mannequin, and that's something that really appeals to me, that she has a French name. Basically, that just means the fashion doll or the model doll. Anouk's first release was in 2016, and they've always been relatively small releases, so they really are a boutique creation. Nav was involved in every part of the creation of Anouk, and many of the accessories and clothing pieces he actually makes himself, as well as hand finishing the doll's makeup straight away after it comes out of the factory. A lot of different vintage dolls went into inspiring Anouk, but Nav states that his biggest inspiration was the Caprice fashion doll, who is a French doll from the 1960s. Anouk resembles very strongly Caprice, but Nav states she does have a completely new sculpt, just definitively inspired. Anouk is a roughly 11-inch fashion doll. She is a little bit shorter than Barbie, as you can see, and she also has a more curvaceous and rounded body altogether. She doesn't have joints except at the shoulders and the hip, which could potentially be a downside to some collectors, but this really reflects those vintage roots that she is coming from. Each series of Anouk releases generally has a theme, and it comes with its own little fashion booklet, which is hand-drawn and designed, and it is truly gorgeous to look at. The newest Anouk release this year is called Les Demoiselles de Bollywood. I absolutely loved the lead up to this release, watching Nav's social media where he posted so many hints and different little snippets and photos on his Facebook page. It made it really fun and built the excitement. In June, we were finally shown the full collection and given the opportunity to order. There was a total of 10 outfits available for Anouk and 6 for Fanfan. As well as the outfits, we had lots of different hair and skin colours we could choose from. A total of 14 combinations for Anouk and 8 for Fanfan, meaning that the opportunities for mix and match were almost endless with the dolls. Just before sending them, Nav posted several pictures of all of the dolls assembled together. It made me incredibly excited to get these dolls, and they are finally here, and I'm ready to open up the boxes. The new Anouk and Fanfan will be joining my two Anouks I already have. These are from Series 2 and from Series 3. The doll outside of her tube has the very aptly named picnic fashion, and you can see that it comes with a little basket, a camera and a hat, everything she needs to go out and have a picnic. The other Anouk is Series 2, the Anouk in Japan series, and she's wearing the pink evening gown fashion. It is a really beautifully made silk gown with a lace top, a bow at the belt, and a fitted skirt. She also has shoes. They've come off in the tube, but they are in there. One of the things I love about the Anouk dolls is the real artisan finish that they have. All of the little accessories that you can see, they don't have a feel of being mass-produced or coming from a company. They all feel really handmade and unique, from the picnic basket, which has a couple of apples and a drink bottle in it, to the camera, which has a real leather strap fitted to it, and such fine details that it is really impressive. Anouk's shoes are cork-soled platforms, and again, they don't feel mass-produced at all. They feel like they've been handmade, and that is a beautiful thing about them. Even the stands feel handmade. They're wood-carved, black-painted, and have the Anouk label fixed to them. I love that these dolls are made in France. It is one of the things that really draws me to them. So Anouk Paris Marque Déposée. And they have a little metal pole to hold the doll up. When you receive an Anouk, they all come in these plastic tubes. You can open them up and slide them right out. I purchased this doll at the London Fashion Doll Fair that I was at earlier this year. If you haven't seen my video of that, then please do have a look. It was a really fun event. She is a suntan Anouk with a darker skin tone and a yellow blonde hair. I love that she's got a bit of a beehive and how much her skin tone and hair just produce a really lovely finished product. I'm going to be opening up the 2 new dolls soon, and this will be the first time I have seen a Fanfan in person. The other 2 dolls will watch the box opening, and who knows, maybe Picnic will even take a few photos. Each doll comes neatly and individually packaged in its own little cardboard case. I do like how he tapes the 2 cases together if you buy 2 dolls, because that just makes shipping a lot more practical. I really love how everything is in French for Anouk, and I mean, she is a European doll, and I believe she's produced in France, and it's just a really cute thing about her. This is Anouk and Fanfan. Now, I love the Anouk face. It is beautiful. And this was my first time buying Fanfan. I was a bit less sure about her face. I knew I wanted an Anouk from this series. We had the choice with hairstyles between the mullet hairstyle and a ponytail hairstyle. The mullet one seemed really unique, so I knew I was going to go for that. When it came for choosing the outfit, it was pretty hard. That was harder than choosing the doll and the hairstyle, because there were so many beautiful ones available. I loved many of the fashion choices that we were given, and they're all shown in the little booklet that she comes with. It was so hard to choose. I wasn't sure whether I wanted a more traditional Bollywood look, something that came with more accessories, so I really felt that I was getting my money's worth. But when I saw this one, which is called Preeti, I just loved it, even though it fitted really neither of those categories I just described. It is neither really super impressive in Bollywood, nor comes with heaps of accessories, but I just felt that it was super cute and pretty. It is called Preeti, so it should be. And so that's the one that I chose. It has these fun little accessories. I've heard that most of these are 3D printed, and I think that's really cool. I have just purchased a 3D printer, so I am thinking of trying to make some of my own little accessories like this for dolls. We'll see how we go. She comes with a little camera. I think it's meant to be more like a video camera, this one. Not really as impressive as the one with Picnic. I think maybe because Nav is, I guess, mass producing just a little bit more than in the past. The accessories maybe are simplified. It's fun, but I sort of wish it had a strap so that she could hold it. The shoes, yeah, they are gold and they are definitely 3D printed. I can see the lines on them, but they are not, they won't bother me at all. They're very nicely done, and we're going to see how well they fit on her. She also has a little red scarf that can be tied around her neck, like in the promo shot. I went for the dusty blonde hair color because I really liked the promo pics of how it looks with the mullet hairstyle. I'm going to have fun styling that, and I can see it here now. It is really cute. I like those curls at the back with the little fringe at the front. I probably thought it would look a little bit more like a mullet, but the mullet is a very traditional Australian hairstyle that really is pretty disgusting. So I'm perhaps glad that it doesn't look more like a mullet. I do like it, but I think I will also enjoy styling it and seeing what can be done with it. I liked in the shots where it was shown as quite long with the buffy bit at the top. So maybe I'll have a go sort of straightening it out and doing that with her. We can pop her shoes on. They fit on pretty well. Might probably be better without the tights, but as it is, they're good. I really love the little dress. It is super cute and it is really well fitted. It's got these absolutely minuscule buttons. It's hard to see on video, but the buttons are only about 3 millimeters across. They are absolutely tiny and they are gorgeous. Everything is finished with these gold touches, and that is lovely. The attention to detail in the sewing is beautiful. I can't sew this well, and it really impresses me to see that sort of attention to detail. The stand is updated as well. You can see it's got a 3D printed hook now that slots over the metal bar, and the base is also 3D printed rather than wood. I really like that. It's got a nice touch to it. She looks gorgeous with the little accessories attached. I'm actually surprised what a difference the red neck scarf actually makes on her. It really just makes the outfit pop. I think I use that word pop quite a bit, but it genuinely does. My only regret is that she can't hold the camera. I do wish that it had some kind of strap, even though I know that that just makes the difficulties, a little bit greater, the intricacies of making it. Her face looks a tiny bit shiny. It's very beautiful though. And I might talk a little bit more about the faces when I have Fanfan out. As it is, she's joined the other two Anouks to watch as I open Fanfan. I've pulled the tube holding Fanfan out of the box, and we can see her partly hidden by a little bit of bubble wrap there. I hadn't thought about it. I probably should have, but how there would be a new little logo and label for Fanfan. I love that it's a different color but complementary. That's a really cute little feature. Initially, I actually wasn't sure about Fanfan or her sculpt, and actually it was seeing the different designs and clothing that she came with that convinced me to order her from this release, because she came with completely different styles and different options from Anouk. And the one that I just adored in all the pictures was Sharmila. I knew I wanted her before I even thought about anything else, and then I just sort of added things on to go with that, which Fanfan to choose and so on. I just knew I needed Sharmila. It's so cool, and it just really epitomizes to me the idea of Bollywood fashion. It is so outrageous. So I knew I needed that, and you can see that that's what she is wearing. Fanfan comes with the exact same booklet as Anouk, and it has all of the information about both of them in there. I really like it as a little piece. Here she is. I genuinely couldn't remember the hair color that I had ordered for this Fanfan. I knew that I'd chosen the two ponytails, but could not remember the hair color. I like the one I've chosen because it is different from all of the others. All of the Anouks I have are blonde, different shades of blonde, but they are all blonde. And this is a brunette, and actually Nav is making me a doll at the moment who is a redhead. I'm really glad he's making me a redhead because that will be completely different from what I have. I have to say, Fanfan's face looking up close, I am actually really loving. I wasn't sure about her from the promo photos just because it is a fairly unique face. Nav has actually described on his blog what his ideas were behind this face. He stated, "I wanted her to look unusual with a lot of character in her face, not traditionally pretty, but still attractive." And I totally see that here. He also talked about his inspiration with the dolls and wanting her to have, eyes that were a little bit close together. I did ask Nav what his primary inspiration in terms of the doll world for Fanfan was, and he told me that it was the Barbara Parlante doll by the Lily Lady Company. I looked her up and she is a beautiful doll. You can absolutely see the resemblance to Fanfan. She is a new sculpt, but she was inspired by that. She is very, very pretty looking at her like this, even though I felt unsure about her from the pictures. Fanfan also has 3D printed shoes. She has little gold mules, and she has a microphone. It comes in 3 pieces, and it has a metallic weighted bottom so that it will stand up. I think it looks pretty easy to put together. Each piece has a little hole in it so that they slot together. Just need to make sure I don't press too hard because the plastic was bending there. But I really like how that one can actually interact with the doll. It stands up properly in front of her so that she can be a Bollywood singer. The shoes slipped on really easily, better on Fanfan than on Anouk, but I think that is just because of Anouk's tights, and they, stopped them fitting quite as perfectly. Both dolls, I just adore the outfits. They have such beautiful attention to detail and they're so unique. I love the Bollywood theming. It is really fun. And the over-the-top Sharmila outfit with all of these splits, the chain around the waist, the openings under the bra and above the waistline, just super cool. I just really think that it is a fabulous outfit. Although I do wonder how the girls would look if I switched their clothes. I have a feeling that the white dress would really make Fanfan's dark hair pop, so I might give that a go at some point. These dolls have an adorable retro feel to them. It really feels like purchasing a doll who came out in the 1970s, but one who is brand new and beautiful. I think that there will be some people who, I guess, are disappointed by the fact that she doesn't have an articulated body, and I sort of wonder if I'm one of those people. But at the same time, I think that when we see photographs of Anouk, it's actually an advantage that she has the stiff arms because it allows her to create these really retro poses, to look like advertisements that would have been done of a doll at that time. I think there would also be great advantages to her being articulated. It would be beautiful to give her more poses, but at the same time, do I usually do that with my dolls? No, actually, to be honest, I don't. I might bend the arms a little bit just to, put her on the shelf, but mostly my dolls just stand there. So I guess there's no real disadvantage when it comes to a display doll. I do see that Fanfan's face doesn't have the shine to it that Anouk does. I might ask Nav about that. They are both beautiful though. And one thing I wanted to mention about the faces is that I saw on the Facebook site when Nav was preparing these dolls how he talked about receiving them from the factory and then hand painting on the little features and details. And you can see, especially on Anouk's face, how much work that would be. And each one, you can see the extra little black lines and details, white irises that he's painted by hand onto each of the dolls to give them a more lifelike feel. And I think that that's really impressive and has a really great result. I really love these dolls. They are super fun and quirky, and they have such great attention to detail in the clothing, the hair, and the faces. I do have to admit that I probably preferred the accessories that came with the earlier dolls, but I can also see that learning to produce more quickly and using methods like 3D printing is going to make it more viable to produce more of those dolls. And that said, I think the clothing is the most impressive on these two dolls. I absolutely adore them. I'm so glad I chose the Preeti outfit. I think it is just stunning. And although Sharmila is super impressive, Preeti might actually be my favourite of all four. I really love these two Anouk dolls. They have such expression to their faces, and the attention to detail in their clothing and accessories is just lovely. I love that they have taken this theme of Bollywood, which has its own kind of vintage feel to it, and really made it fun while retaining its authenticity. These fashions have been miniaturized just so exquisitely. Fanfan herself is significantly more beautiful than I expected. I did find that idea of her being beautiful but not traditionally beautiful, when I looked at pictures, I was a little bit unsure about her. But looking at her face beside Anouk, I think they look lovely together. They really complement each other, and I see this sort of cheeky, quirky feel that Fanfan has. Anouk is nonetheless my favourite, as I just find that her face is really very appealing, and I also love that mullet hairstyle and the colour that really do go well together, and they go with that beautiful Bollywood dress. I'm absolutely looking forward to my one-of-a-kind doll who's going to have red hair, so she will be a real bonus to my collection in being something that's totally different as well as being unique. I look forward to receiving her later and perhaps sharing her on my channel. Please let me know if you have a favourite Anouk doll, or perhaps another vintage style doll who you just feel is amazing. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel so you don't miss any of my upcoming videos.